Hello everyone and welcome to another match of Roulette Freestyle Remix. Still in round 1 action, but this is not less exciting than the ones previously. This one is between Blithe and Crewdy. Blithe, I was gonna say he made it quite far, maybe to the final of the previous freestyle event, and Crewdy definitely the mastermind behind this one, so should be really curious to see how it goes. We'll be running down the rules and quirks of this format in just a bit, but we will first see the spin here. First piece chunking, it was all decided by RNG, and the first spin is here. It is Scissors as a researcher and Loud Shotgun as block guard. As you can see, first of all, by the lack of the targets there for, I guess, the newer viewers here, is that it's not the usual kind of roulette where, of course, you would have the condition and the target next to each other. This time around, you can use the Scissors Researcher kill on anyone, as well as the Loud Shotgun block guard combination. And yeah, Blithe was the runner-up of Roulette Freestyle, the original tournament back in April, with the final on the 1st of May, losing to Chris X3 in the process, but Blithe, as he mentioned, he's the best ranked, or I guess the best freestyle player, I guess, until it's proven otherwise. But it's a really stacked bracket, and the winner of this one won't face any easier opposition. That will be Phanium in round 2 to go to the finals. But now we are in the match as well. Scissors Researcher, fairly straightforward kill there. Loud Shotgun block guard will be a bit of a trickier one to get, but just an agency pickup to collect, and veteran players like them will have, I think, something cooked up for either target. So if I were to guess, then I think you can do the Hush Scissors Researcher kill, change back into block guard, and then maybe wall bang Imogen at the end from the tier 3 exit. Joker J is an admin here today, who has a little hectic time in the minutes before the spin went live, but seems everything is in order rather.
Now go get Imogen Royce.
So he gets the first kill of this match, Loud Shotgun block guard. You can see the colors, and you can see barely the numbers, but I just refer to the colors there. The purple refers to the fact that it was chosen by Crewdy, and the green was chosen by Blithe. And yeah, the main quirk of this competition is that you need to choose half the conditions there. The other half will be chosen by your opponent, and then it will be the same, of course, for both you and your opponent. Blithe, the first restart of the match. Got compromised. I honestly just noticed the orange part, but I'm a bit late to realize what happened there. I think it was code chest passing in the deprivation chamber, which puts Crewdy in the lead by significant amount, and it's the easier kill to go, Scissors Researcher. I'm not sure if Crewdy has it already, because I think Crewdy started block guard. And Blithe is collecting these items in a very fast pace, but feels Crewdy's in-game time lead will just be strong enough to maybe see an upset. Well, not an upset here, but Blithe is the favorite for this match, so anyway, it will be a victory for Crewdy, who will now go the long way around, perhaps with the Scissors. I'm still not sure. This could still mean two things. Crewdy could just infiltrate from behind, and Crewdy could also go for the Scissors, sorry. Crewdy gets the peekaboo on the dumpling cook lady. That's probably a best case scenario, because she can very easily compromise you, and Crewdy's second try with the code, but luckily no full whoosh there.
Welcome. Please follow
As Blithe is now getting the deprivation chamber, and I think this is the reason why it can get tricky there. Blithe, the peekaboo works out for him this time, and Mogwai will be entering. Blithe is compromised, but oh, this will get Mogwai coming closer and closer, and Blithe will have to restart. That's orange in the end. And I think the second pass from Crewdy surely meant that the scissors was located on hit maps. But now 3.5 minutes for Crewdy, and even without the scissors, it will be a very smooth sailing into a very likely, though not guaranteed,
apparently.
jumping
Nothing wrong with her
victory.
look, though.
First, the isolation
Edgy.
can also go wrong. Melee item lock-ons can be troublesome, and this could be compromised through the walls, but it didn't happen. Crewdy using the second of the blunt items to pacify Imogen, and I think it's now time to get one of the two scissors, and there is only really one viable pair of scissors on this map, and it's the one Blithe just got 20 seconds ago from the bottom of the apartment complex. And I think Crewdy is about 1 minute out. That is if he doesn't get recorded on camera on his way back. I would say there's a chance for that still to happen. It's a camera to dodge, but no more enforcers to my knowledge. And this is why it would have been really exciting to see Crewdy's first try play Blithe's second try, because I think they would have reached about the same conclusion. But Blithe with one more restart, and this is a really nice way of doing the kill. It just wasn't green early enough. I mean, it still is not green on Blithe's side, but that peekaboo was not meant to be here. Blithe now, I think he was a bit later to this place.
Good.
Which is why
both targets down.
Hush was back at his desk already.
I just need to override
For a quick and simple
this,
isolation, and that would be a sub
get
2
out
minutes
now, I can
first
take
kill
care
for
of the data
Blithe,
remotely.
but that's
Unless
of
you want
course
to
too
handle it
little too
yourself.
late, and Crewdy will take the first 2 points of this match. Just of course needs to get to the tier 3 exit. Hold the camera there.
Security
And now
protocol.
Crewdy can press done. 38 minutes to go from the 45, which I think means 7 minutes of real time. That's all it took for these two players to get through the first map. Blithe showcasing the soundproof hush kill there. As the spin goes away and he gets ready for the next one. And Joker J, the match admins, already put the message in there, and Marrakesh will be the second map of this match. Which I would really put as one of Blithe's favorite ones. Maybe favorite is a strong word, but I expect him to be strong on there, and I'm curious to see the strategic choices for this. And just in general for the tournament, because I'm not sure if anyone has seen or not seen or want to see Fino versus Danny Buta, the top of the round 1 matches. And at least there, early on in the round 1, we have seen some strategic choices like the suit for Bangkok, which we thought would chip up the players a bit, at least from the Cake Topper strat, but to the suit peekaboo. Suit next snap maybe? Into a consume poison kill, so it's anything but a tricky one. But I mean, for Marrakesh, I think there would be some combinations which would be tricky, and I'm not sure if the prisoner counts as one, because the rules weren't. But the rules are informally clarified, and I think nothing about remote targets, that the disguises which can be remotely done, or at least only remotely, sorry, the stalkers and the knight's armors. Those are not allowed to be picked. But I'm not sure if the prisoner counts as one, because it's fair play for Reza. Of course, it's precisely close to Reza inside the school. But Klaus will be a remote kill only. So I don't think we will see prisoners there. But I mean, if there is only one loud kill, then you can always do that on Klaus. But if there are two loud kills, and maybe, just maybe, the loud pistol elimination, which we will find out in a couple of seconds, there's no such thing as that. But it's still an interesting spin in terms of disguises. Scissors bodyguard and Fiberwire as fortune teller, and I think this is the second time Blithe has gone for the scissors, but this time with a more spicier disguise, fortune teller. As Crewdy went for the bodyguard, and Fiberwire just a regular live kill. Will be interesting loadout wise, because it will take some emetic devices. Probably the remote emetic device. Blithe took China personally. I'm not even sure what's the reference to that, because it seems a fairly fair spin on both sides. Scissors not a difficult kill condition to perform, and fortune teller, well, Blithe will now show what the potentially easiest way to do this. Snail on the two passerbys and one trank. Hopefully shouldn't be seen doing that. And everyone is looking at the snailed NPCs, and Blithe out of the, I guess, the complex, that important corner. Only now when the fortune teller is found, so it's very nice for Blithe, and we'll be making a very important first cycle. Klaus eye, so there's the scissors. As Crewdy is, I think Crewdy is also looking at Klaus' first cycle. This will be tricky to see whether Crewdy can get the bodyguard in time. Generally you want to be hopping over this wall, which Blithe is right now at 107 by 147. So Crewdy is not looking good for a first cycle ISO, but he's looking good for some content, because most of the disguises for this spin are now coming to this bathroom, and the mirror will be difficult to see, and Crewdy turns red regardless. So with that, Blithe is now in the lead by not just strategy and progress, but also in-game time. 147 plays 6 seconds. Yeah, it is a shame that shisha toilet allows 2 people, because well, if Crewdy doesn't bump into the fortune teller, then the two would just merge to one person and puke over the same toilet, and from that I think it's virtually impossible to save it until one of them stops puking. Blithe has the perfect timing and one perfect buffer for me, but Blithe has a nice timing for the chain lure, and I think the second throw missed, but the briefcase could salvage this one in a quick matter, and Crewdy gets unconscious witness through the same mirror. This is a very menacing room. Really unfortunate for him.
Welcome to Marek.
Blithe gets the Fiberwire kill as the fortune teller, which of course means now that Scissors' bodyguard will be the Reza kill. And Blithe still has his briefcase, and inside that there's the remote gas device armed. So all he needs to do is just to run to the bodyguard and press the trigger nearby. He will have the disguise. And roulette players have infiltrated the school many a times. Blithe could really go with anything there. I think from that point on, it wouldn't be stupid to just go through the safe route up to the headmaster, get the key, KO the headmaster, and infiltrate that way. We shall see. Crewdy, try number 3 with the bodyguard. Waste a bit more. Turns red anyway. So that was red guns without unconscious weakness. And I'm running out of the... Crewdy is running out of the ways to rip in this bathroom, which is really unfortunate for him. Ooh, and Blithe gets some interesting action here because the weapon is reported. And that gets the bodyguard out of the bathroom. I think because this is not supposed to happen. Oh no. I could have seen this go either way. I could have seen the bodyguard stay stuck there for eternity, because that's what happens on other maps with the magic device. I could have seen the bodyguard return to his post, or the good ending where he just goes back to the bathroom to puke. But yeah, it's a great game. Everything's fine with it. And Blithe will now go to the well/scooter part. I should probably have some more, I was gonna say car bombs or modular explosives, but the Jank will work perfectly. No enforcer dot there for that elite soldier. I think Blithe will have the crowbar to infiltrate, open the door. And this is basically the part which every roulette player has done in Marrakesh. The actual second half of the spin, get to the radio intercom, turn it on, which lures, raises Aidan to that room upstairs. And he just one thrown distraction away from isolation, and this could be even a life kill.
Most impressive, 47. Now to locate Klaus Strandberg.
It need not be though, and Blithe at 6 minutes. You turn the intercom, raises it to perfect position, so Blithe has to leg it just a bit to get up here, get in cover. I'm not sure what that aiming was for, probably just showing that he's indeed cut it a bit close, but there's a distraction. And the second and last kill. I don't imagine Blithe has the truck keys. Yeah, Blithe is looking for a main exit, but it's more than enough. And in about 20 seconds he will be exiting Marrakesh, which is now, I guess, as guaranteed as it can get, because other than the odd bodies being found, I guess that's a ticking bomb anyway. That should be out. More enforcers, no more trespassing areas. And Chonky was taken by Crewdy, and Marrakesh will be Blithe, I'm almost sure at this point. Be the 7:18, and what's that, 8.5 minutes of real time? We're moving very quickly through this match, but we guess at least 2 more maps. And the first one is the Isle of Scale, which we have seen on Monday, but it wasn't the Danny match. I think it was Linux versus Joker J. But Scale is definitely interesting because it has a really high range of spins in terms of difficulty. So many spins you can do in 2 minutes-ish, and so many spins that you can't really do in less than 7. Of course, I mean in a real life setting. Linux recalls that he was choosing Fall as Chef for scale, likewise for all the other maps of that match, but that's just one of the nice traditions, although short-lived, but good parts of this tournament. We have had, don't want to say the wrong numbers, I'm just going to check if I find the right link, of course. We have had 4 matches so far. 3 of them ended up with 4 maps, but 2 of them went to all 5, I guess realistically all 5, since there's a chance that it goes 5-5, and then there's the 6th and last map without time limit. But the fact that half the matches went to deciders shows that this has the potential to be a really competitive format, and I'm really excited to see this match and all the later rounds. Hey Mando, how's it going? Joker's typing and typing again for a confirmation comment that the spin will be live at 22 past the hour. I find this a good system, just for just for us admins to think about. Joker went to announce the next map without the time when the next spin arrives, and of course the DMs happened about curating the spins, half the spins I guess, and after Joker got everything and set up the spin, he could say that the spin will be live in about 1 minute. It's not long, the break shouldn't be any longer than that, I was gonna say. Mando just stopped working, oh my god, that's not what you like to hear. Do get some rest now, I hope you can. So 15 seconds. Blithe first tried Marrakesh and won it, and Crewdy first tried Chongqing and won it, so curious to see if we see this trend continue, or maybe we see some different variations in terms of rips and first tries. But there's a fall by Blithe, and it will be done as castle staff. The other target will be Injected Poison Custodian, which both of these skills I would really like to do for Sophia, but I guess the alternative would be to stun Chapel with the sniper, shoot the pit immediately, and that triggers Zoe, and you should have a quick Zoe kill and just try your hardest to get up there and make the radio timing at 155 to 205. But Crewdy decided against that. Quick MOC start, and both of them starting Custodian. Joker, I guess, called it, or is just better at scale game plan than I am. Alright, Joker has the strategy, so I'll just quickly read it out while the players working on it. Gas device ISO onto Zoe. Go up and grab Castle Staff and kill Sophia, so let's try to decipher it for the rest of us. If you start Custodian, you can go to the wake area, which is when Zoe will be entering the castle again, 15-second mark. And if you throw the gas device in a certain angle, you can get Zoe spot you, but she will be the only one to do so, and she can just run towards you, and you can just lure her into the bushes for a quick isolation. Could be an option, could be, definitely, but it won't be here because both of them started. Well, Custodian starts still, but going towards different parts of the map. Blithe will be now getting castle staff. Trying to be quick with this one because, well, everyone's looking at the radio timing, which could be a miss, at least the first cycle. And Crewdy, that could have been close there. Red guns in the last second. Oh, turns red, of course, since it was just the Zoe animation taking forever. But I had that confusion, and I imagine that Crewdy was in the correct disguise at the moment of the kill. Crewdy will now change back into Custodian, which will be trespassing on that floor, which could be good for peekaboos. Yeah, Joker's calling it correctly. Or I guess reading Crewdy's mind correctly. In the meantime, Blithe has the castle staff disguise and made it back as the Custodian. Takes those extra couple seconds to not get a GRB or bad head turn on Sophia to turn that poison elimination into a punch, which I would like to see there. And Joker just testing us whether we know the correct target names or not, but yeah, Blithe has done poison on Sophia, which means that MOC isolation into a modest drag will be the elimination for Zoe. And Crewdy, I guess, had some options to peekaboo Sophia, but he won't do that. Crewdy is looking for the disguise first, and I mean, Crewdy has plenty of time if he wants to do radio, but it might not be enough to win this map because Blithe is now on the MOC hunt. I don't think that was initiated just yet. I think both of these strategies will end up around the same time. I don't think they will be finishing in the next minute, but they might in the next 2 minutes. But Crewdy's conversation that has been triggered is going to be so long. If Crewdy... Oh, now Crewdy's in trouble because... because it will be investigated by the other castle staff, and I don't know where the body is going. Now this is going to be a soft lockdown for him. And now the body found by the other castle staff.
You should do something.
Okay, leave it to the pros.
It was such a nice plan, but that extra body making things so difficult, and Blithe is just these 2 KOs away. Punch doesn't matter. Red guns will turn green once the fall kill is done. The disguise will be in this room. Yep. And I think it... See, I was really curious to see where Sophia went from the soft lockdown. She was running towards the balcony, but far from alone, and I don't think she was going to be alone anyway.
Seriously, I'll pay.
Hey Flare. So unfortunate there, I guess it's a big what if moment.
Are you okay?
The nice 5-ish minute run for Blithe. Second kill done before the 5 flat mark. And plenty of disguises to choose from. Best of which the elite guard is right here, and Blithe will be exiting in just a few seconds to take the lead for the first time in this match. Unfortunate for Crewdy, but nice composure by Blithe. It's not the target order that Joker expected, for example, but this was a nice open spin with both approaches being viable, and Blithe, I mean, what more do you want than a 5-17 first try, right? We are going to Sapienza next. I will be back in 10 seconds, but this is one of the more interesting maps, so I'm curious to hear your pick. I was gonna say pick and ban choices, but the the condition pick choices, I guess. Of course, Linux's big hope is a food serving disguise. Would be the waiter, the kitchen assistant, or the mansion chef. But the other trouble is that there's so many disguises on this map that unless someone's doing a Linux tribute, then it's unlikely that those will be chosen just by the sheer numbers that there are. I guess for Ambrose it will be an often seen sight, with the only 7 disguises, one of them being the cook. Or I guess Colorado, which is like 9 or 10 with the Nisha cook there. And you can also think of easier lethal melees and harder lethal melees. I was gonna say easier, harder kills, but I mean drowning is hard because it's slower than most kills. Electrocution can be tricky, but it's not the scale kind of accidents or the chunking kind of accidents. Don't think it will be all too difficult there. The next spin arrives in just less than 1 minute. And let's see if we can get anything from these loadouts. Pistol, camera, and injected poison for Blithe. And Crewdy is starting in the lab area, so that doesn't necessarily mean lab technician, of course, for the spin, but one of the 3 disguises. And I think if you want an edge here, you go for hazmat suit, because that's the one that guarantees that you need to pick this start. But Crewdy just as easily have chosen lab security, I guess. And of course, Blithe with the antique lethal syringe, it can't really be a lot of kills there. And from the safe house, it's really anyone's game. But the spin is here officially, and injected poison plays the hazmat suit. And the other kill that we didn't talk about was a folding knife and melee kill as the church staff. So folding knife is the counterpart to the combat knife. The combat knife you can bring in, the folding knife you cannot. Which means I wouldn't know where the combat knives are. As far as the folding knives go, I'm just gonna go for the one in front of the cafe. That should be a folding knife. Right around where the entrance to the Sanguine shop is.
You made it.
See you soon, Phoenix.
Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Oh, and Blithe with a really long spin there, and decided not to go with the lab start. And I think this is why he's chosen church staff, because it's also really important to grab that early, and arguably suit start is the best for that. Crewdy is getting caught in this restart loop. Second time around, he cannot get hazmat suit, and it's not even going that direction, which kind of makes choosing this location a bit more awkward. But if Crewdy live kill Franny at 2.5 minutes is the plan, then I think this detour won't hurt him a lot. It's just, of course, unfortunate that he had to do these 2 restarts for it. Blithe getting the folding knife, which for the first time in this match has to do live, and not even a thrown kill, but rather with the silent elimination prompt. Crewdy now has plenty of items. The briefcase he just pick up as well, but still no disguise, which he will now get. Go all the way back to his starting location. And manages to turn the enforcer around so he can get the first important disguise. Blithe also one of the kill disguises with a little bit of whoosh there, but that's not really a place where people rip. This is a place where people rip to this guard in particular, but oh, Crewdy getting so close with that whoosh, but gets out of the contentious part of the lab and can go to Franny 45 seconds until the self-isolation. Crewdy should more than make it, as well as Blithe. And it's really a question of which second disguise is easier or harder to get. I would still wager that you would rather be in a hazmat suit early in the spin. And having to take the church staff later on than being church staff and ending the run with a live hazmat suit kill. So in that way, it feels like slightly in the lead, but it's really hard to say, and Blithe could have a perfect strategy to get the hazmat suit. Important thing now is to see if Crewdy can get the first kill as well, and then the race to get these second disguises on both sides.
Is Francesca DeSantis.
There's the Pope. And Crewdy is not wasting a dart, not having that eaten by the guard, but that's an untrespassing disguise for Crewdy, which will be good to get for the 4-day knife. I imagine that will be taken from the same place where Blithe has taken it from. It's kind of a little melee that it's only one viable points on the map. Crewdy now not having the cameras anymore can take a straighter line to the kitchen, through the kitchen. And I would imagine it would be this free church staff that Crewdy takes after the folding knife, after the mentioned keycard. It's really important to get all the way in and out, and Crewdy will be on his way to get the second disguise. He picked up something else. I think that was the police baton. Unfortunately there, a couple of seconds of time loss. Crewdy checks the door, it will work. Then he will find out that it's not even the fastest way back in to getting a free church staff disguise. Blithe has taken an adventurous route, but that's basically what's needed for the hazmat suit. Basically went to take out the virus, but went even more forward. And apparently you're trespassing in this area. I guess it's contaminated. You're not lab disguise, hazmat suit or lab technician. And now Blithe has everything for the second kill. Crewdy as well. Blithe now getting caught on camera, but if he has a silenced pistol, but I don't think he has. Ooh, this is some improv, but it's not the biggest risk ever, since the container is right there. Blithe gets back into green gun territory rather. But Crewdy is closer to Silvio than Blithe is. And neither of them have taken out the virus. This could be really close, and it feels once more that Crewdy might be closer, but Blithe is really fast and has the sniper in hand. Crewdy have set up the virus, he won't have to deal with that one either. But he still needs to get to an exit. It might just be through the lab area, but doesn't matter a lot. I'm not sure when the panel was shot on Blithe's side, if that happened before. If not, big moment. Yeah, he turns around and shoots the panel 10 seconds later than Crewdy. This will be all about the risk taking, because they will be entering this part of the spin at the same time. Silvio should be arriving at very similar moments. Blithe has an extra guard to deal with. Kind of messes with his timing, so he wants to get rid of him. But that will cause even more nerves for Blithe. But seems that he should turn just fine. He sees something, he sees the tactical. But that works out for him just fine. Crewdy gets the 2 KOs and live. Melee elimination can be done from any direction. Back to green guns, that's a legal kill, and Crewdy has everything, just needs to detonate the EMP. And oh my god, Crewdy is so close to having a body found by that corridor guard. But in the end, Crewdy does have everything. No more enforcers. And I suppose he just chose the better start. But Blithe made it awfully close with this one, and in the end this could be photo finish, but I think it's just so strong by Crewdy that won't really make a difference here. Blithe still has to go through the lab area, and that's the Crewdy finish, sub 7. Blithe will only pace like a 7:45. And hello and welcome, Mika, and we are seeing the third decider in 5 matches. This one is... oh damn it, it is the first decider of the tournament. Thank you, Mika, the first tiebreaker. But it is an awfully competitive format. And once more, just 9 minutes since the spin went live, and we already have 1 finisher, and actually 2 finishers this time around. And if it's more than 30 seconds in Providence rules, then we won't even have a photo finish. And it did feel a bit more than 30 seconds, so... 28 seconds, so it is still photo finish territory. It's a really long Blithe load, but it plays against 3 Crewdy loads. There were 2 restarts at the beginning. It might just be the one photo finish that will be evaded by Blithe, but let's find out. Anyway, I think Joker will get counting, and then he may have some good news, or he may have the news of the photo finish.
The security's in the dark about the incident.
And of course, as long as you don't know the results, we won't have the next map, which only one person in this world knows, which is Joker J.
I'll get to the bottom of this.
Which map will decide the match? Which map will be the last of these players' run?
I followed
Just one match in this single elimination bracket, but players are making the most out of it.
You did this.
Iago exposed you. ICA did the heavy lifting. I just pulled some strings.
I mean, ideally,
Yeah, you mind? How do you
the
expect?
best case scenario for Joker if
played
Blithe's
dirty.
single load.
That's how you defeat
I'm
a
not even
stronger opponent.
extra sure anymore if it's a
Strike
single
from
load. I
behind.
think there was no
Give me the
restarts in
key.
Blithe then. But Blithe needs
Yeah,
to have at
family.
least 28 seconds of loads in the first
Trust me,
place.
if there's a weakness, Providence will find it.
If that doesn't happen,
Take my
it
chances.
takes the map
The key.
automatically.
Fine.
Some great cutscenes, by the way, which allows me to
Won't do you much good.
just slow down the talking.
It's funny. Cobb said the same thing. Thank you, messenger.
Don't. I just killed you.
Then we're even.
It's illegal to just use this content to space out my talks here, but so good on the briefings. Especially, of course, season 1 and the Square Enix budget allowing for these almost real-to-life confrontations, but we're here, of course, for the roulette, the main missions, not really the lore, the cutscenes. And going back to the world of roulette, we are seeing Joker typing. I mean, 28 seconds. Blithe's PC is on the weaker end, and Crewdy's new gen is of course on the stronger end of the consoles, but here we have the results, and Blithe's load was 26 seconds, so if Crewdy were to load for more than 0 seconds, I guess, then it would be a Crewdy win, and it will be a Crewdy win regardless, since there were 3 loads, and it feels fair to cut it at that. So there's this Crewdy win, 4-4, and the final map is Bangkok, as Crewdy is showing it. Bangkok will be even more interesting last time around. Of course, we've enjoyed the actual photo finish of Danny versus Phanium with the very simple, straightforward spin. But these players are opting for harder conditions some of the time, so on a harder map like Bangkok, there is a chance that we will be here for a bit longer. And of course that's what we really want to see. A match as long as possible, and in terms of maps, we've reached that point. 6 is unreal to ask for, so 5 is always the realistic limit. And one more map to decide whether Blithe or Crewdy stays alive in the competition. Crewdy definitely standout performance in this match. Blithe as the runner-up from Roulette Freestyle, the original one, was the favorite to make it to the next round, to face Phanium in a rematch of the semi-finals from last time around, which I guess for some history we can mention that Blithe won that match 6-4 against Phanium, and then Blithe went on to lose to Chris X3 8-2, with the Phanium finishing 3rd in the end, and Chromex finished 4th in that tournament. 16 player bracket that time, 15 this time around, but hopefully the same excitement or even more. Joker revealing that there is a based kill in this spin. I mean, it can mean a lot of things, but the fact that Crewdy is hovering over or have already used the remote Semtex in the loadout, I wanna say it's a loud explosive weapon there. And if the disguise allows it, it is... it's not golf ball, I guess it's golf ball and baseball, wall bangable. You can open the door to below the soundproof sound booth and get the kill from there, but spin fully is here or would be here, but as it is a decider, it doesn't always show up. And this time will be no different. Like the Hitman Bingo 2 deciders, I think I know what's happening. It's not a decider actually, Joker, it's just a map 5. It will still have the 45-minute timer. I hope that's not the problem, but just wanted to nitpick you a bit there. This can end in a tie, and then we would go to map number 6. It definitely has a 45-minute timer, Joker. Just... I imagine just Joker really quickly typing it out as things are changing, but there's a spin actually here, and of course the loud explosive weapon was there easily, and the fact that Blithe didn't have anything specific in the loadout because he has chosen next snap. Two disguises are easier ones, recording crew chosen by Blithe and hotel staff by Crewdy. This is absolutely the SA kill. And wallbang situation, but working that in with the other kill may not be that safe. And also, neither of them are speedrunners in a full game sense.
Oh, God, help!
I'm
Please, help me!
not exactly sure if they have this one figured out or planned out as far as the wallbang goes. This will... I was gonna say this will rip Crewdy, but he just defied me once again. Still good there, and now he's found trespassing. That was a dot with the dashes around the dot, and that really rarely can be seen, but it means that you are insta-spotted when you are seen. There is lag, I hope it's... Is it my end? No, it's not my end, and I was looking at Crewdy for the last minute and I've seen no dropped frames, so it's hopefully just Blithe with a very temporary issue and it's out completely. Blithe with recording crew start and loud explosive weapon here already. I imagine the kill will be done. Jordan will be hidden and Crewdy with another restart, putting Blithe in the lead by almost 1 minute. And it's a fairly simple kill to go next snap hotel staff. If you get the emetics ready, or I guess with this particular disguise, if you even just do the hotel staff rule, then you should be good to go there. Blithe gets yellow though, and that's some of his lead, if not most of it, gone. Don't imagine it will take him a minute 10, but this will make this match a bit closer, and Blithe's not looking good on the cycle. He has to go for the lady to enter the room, which won't be for a couple checkpoints at least. Now this is really interesting. And Crewdy with the emetics, the Seeker in particular, I want to say makes this Jordan kill a bit quicker. I don't really imagine Crewdy is behind anymore. And Blithe is getting stuck by the recording crew. This will be full whoosh. This will be turning red. Crewdy is in the lead. All it takes is getting yellow guns. Such an innocent thing to do in Bangkok, but it can snowball out of control, and with that, Crewdy with a 1 kill lead. And that's 1 and 8 of pure lead, because you can't really do all too much faster. And Mika said it's a questionable Seeker. It's not a spot where you use the Seeker often, but I guess it's a might as well moment. The other Seeker will be for Ken. Oh, Nightbot deleted Mika's message. I guess, well... Mika said C4 with 17 question marks. That's unfortunate. Crewdy crucially gets through the camera without getting spotted by it. 1 more camera to dodge, and nice for Crewdy just to get a hotel staff. And you still have 2 options to do. The Seeker or the hotel staff lure into the bathroom, and... I mean, the Seeker is the faster, but... will your hands shake after a couple restarts? Crewdy's trespassing, it's not the best way to get this disguise, and it's not heard by the right person. Oh boy, this will take some time for Crewdy to get, and this might put Blithe back in the lead. It's the same run. If Blithe gets the disguise first, we can say he's in the lead, but how will he get the disguise? It should be the side room instead. Stairs are just troublesome like this, and Crewdy will have to take even more time there. Blithe will definitely take the lead by getting the disguise. Oh boy, Blithe with the risk of his match. Wants to take these guys, but she will turn around and he's found trespassing by the lady who will start to care about trespassing after she starts running towards an NPC. This is so huge. Crewdy's in the lead, but it's such an awkward disguise grab. 317. This will be about the timing when we will start to see the kitchen staff arrive in the area. If Crewdy can show us on the minimap. This is such nice map awareness to hide him, and I think it should be enough. And after waiting this long, I guess Crewdy is not even losing that much time, because Ken should be arriving inside the restaurant. Yeah, it's actually perfect.
That is Ken the Brick.
Mr. Morgan, sir.
Lawyer and corporate
But the
fixer.
one last obstacle
Please accept my
is that
heartfelt apology for the
which
mishap earlier.
bathroom stall you
The Queen
take,
Suite is ready for you.
because the generally safer one
All right there?
is currently occupied. And the empty one won't be empty for too long. And oh, Otis is lagging it for Ken, behind Ken. It's just, how do you do this one? Second stall.
This has gone far enough. Since you
But
plainly don't know where you're going.
this is not what you do when you still have the kitchen staff in. I don't think Crewdy even noticed that there's an NPC inside. And now it's the same melee item, so Ken won't react. I think Crewdy, for safety, should just get you to the kitchen staff and restart the lure. Blithe, 90 seconds in, already has the first kill, going for the second disguise. And with the medics, he's not too far behind. Crewdy doesn't have a lot of time to waste here. And absolutely no troubles to get the disguise. I'm not sure when the hotel staff lady will
The
turn
Queen
around.
Suite really is ready.
Crewdy will restart the lure.
Me, please.
And I think now the kitchen staff will be leaving the stall even after the delay.
Lead the way.
I'm just not exactly sure how big is the Crewdy lead, and Blithe's going for hotel staff as well, and that being a guaranteed 1 minute to secure.
Right. This has
I
gone
think it's
far
back in
enough.
Crewdy's hands, but he's trying his hardest with these adjustments that are not needed and the timings that are not perfect. Crewdy will take Otis down, and it takes one more lure to bring him into the actually empty bathroom stall. But Civilian will be coming back. I wanna say it's 6:30 or 7:30. No matter what, Crewdy won't be out by 7:30 either.
Mr. Morgan, sir.
The other stall
Queen
will
Suite
be
really is
occupied.
ready for you now. Follow me, please.
You brought a map this time.
It's one of those 4 NPCs to the left of him on the minimap, or behind him. And then Jackie's not making lives any easier. There comes the NPC. That NPC will end Crewdy's run if he doesn't realize it.
Far enough. Since... Who is throwing things around here?
No, Crewdy, please look out for that NPC. That NPC, yep, that NPC in particular. And you can't do anything with him. And for Blithe, we haven't even talked about Blithe. Blithe had to restart the lure as well. Because NPC in the other stall. I mean, Crewdy's got him down. Next snap is done, but the NPC is not seeing the waiter. How big is that for Crewdy? But there's the red guns from Jackie. It's Jackie in the end who rips the run, and Blithe's still not in the... Blithe's still not out of the woods yet. He just cannot get Ken inside the stall. What is this? Actually decided the EMP will be used to lure Ken around. And at least the timing is fine for Blithe to mess around with this one. Jack is nowhere near. And now the kitchen staff rides. You cannot ride this. This is incredible. This is unbelievable. You're right, Mika. I don't know how can you make this any crazier.
Short version, darling. Nobody gets in or
That Crewdy with a really heartbreaking restart. Now putting it all for Blithe, who now hides the kitchen staff. That won't be heard by anyone. This throw will be heard by Otis, or will be investigated by Otis. And then, once again, all it takes is just restart the lure for the 7th time to lure Ken inside. There's the talk to prompt. And then I guess it doesn't even matter if Ken finds the body or not. Suppose the weirdest scenario if he sees the gun. Blithe's a bit off with the timing, now he's fine. And Blithe is picking up the gun as well, so this will be the single most ridiculous next snap hotel start in Roulette history. And what did Crewdy die to? I'm sorry. Oh, he died to the explosion. He was in range, but I guess I suppose it doesn't matter in the end because after, oh my goodness, what has happened in the last 12 minutes, not even 12 minutes. It's a short amount of time, but it can cause so many important and memorable moments. But in the end, it is Blithe who exits Bangkok first and advances to round 2 of Roulette Freestyle Remix in the most ridiculous circumstances as far as hotel style next snap goes. Oh my goodness, what a match this was. And what a tournament this has been so far as well. Like the 552 says nothing about how he got there. I did the tournament, no worries, Joker. We will get there in just a second. And I think it's now up to date, so there's transition. With Blithe taking the 6-4 win over Crewdy and Phanium taking the 6-4 win over Danny. And it is poised to be the rematch of the semi-finals of Roulette Freestyle 1. Phanium versus Blithe, this time a quarterfinal. With the 3 names in the last quarter still alive, Joker in round 2 and 420 versus Yanni yet to play, yet to schedule, but I'm sure it will happen soon. And the top half has the other round 1 match yet to be scheduled, yet to be played, but it's been now scheduled. Gigs and I will play on Friday, 8 p.m. CET. And then the winner of that match will play Pijero with Yoshi versus Mika in the top of the 4 quarterfinals. And this one in a form that is not the upcoming matches tab. It shows the 5 matches that have been played. I think I've mentioned this that it's not the upcoming matches tab, but we will find a link for this next time around. But we have these 2 Friday matches, right? Yes, Friday at 8 is Gigs versus Infofun, and Friday at 10 is Mika versus Yoshi. These are the 2 scheduled matches currently with I'm sure like 6-7 more to go in the remaining 1.5 weeks, so it should be exciting with, I mean, can it get even more exciting than this last map? I guess we'll have to find out. GG's to the players. Thank you to Joker for adminning this one. Thank you to Crewdy and Mendo especially for bringing this tournament to life, especially the 2nd edition with the exciting changes. And hope to see more of this, of course, in the next days and the next 1.5 weeks. Until then, have a nice evening, everyone. Bye-bye.